The Legend of Zelda. Since the 30th anniversary is very soon, I am going to be talking about the first 5 Zelda games. Some of the best Zelda games in the chronology, all in the Downfall timeline. I will be discussing almost every single thing that has to do with these games, starting with the original, which has not much to talk about. Future KRF, play the intro. You start off the game in this small area and you have one of 4 options. Either go north, east, or west, or go into the cave and take the sword. It's dangerous to go alone, take this. The first lines you hear in the actual game, and it's been around for 30 years. From this point you have the option to explore, do whatever you want. You can go north, south, east, or north, east, west. It doesn't matter where you go, there's no specific order. This game is not linear. It's an open world game, you can go to whatever dungeon at whatever time, but there are certain items you will need to acquire for you to go to the last dungeon and face the last boss. For example, silver arrows. Many enemies will get in your way, and some of them are the same ones but upgraded, such as these enemies here, known as Octoroks. They have another iteration of them, blue Octoroks, and I believe gray Octoroks as well. I'm a Zelda fan, and I don't even remember this. Well, there is a first dungeon, specifically the one in the NES Atlas guide that I am using right here. Basically the first dungeon is this dungeon right here. It looks kind of like the Great Decatree, don't you think? There's gonna be a lot more dungeons that look just like that. The Legend of Zelda is unique for having its own dungeons and puzzles. Each dungeon has its own individual puzzles, some which are repeated in other dungeons or outside of a dungeon. These enemies specifically are seen in the underworld, otherwise known as a dungeon, and not the overworld. Each Zelda game has its own unique dungeon and different enemies to go along with these dungeons. Each dungeon has its own item, such as this one having the boomerang and also the bow. You cannot use the bow until you acquire arrows. But enough of this chit-chat, it's time to face the boss head-on. First boss in the first Zelda game, the mighty Gleeok. It is now time for the next installment in the chronology, The Legend of Zelda. Hold on. Legend of Zelda. Wait, Zelda 2, Adventure of Link. 6 years after The Legend of Zelda. Link is 16. Wait, you mean to tell me that this Link took on that thing? Well, whatever. Well, it's time to type my name and stuff. It took a long time for me to write the name. Whatever, Link A. We start off in this strange area. We still have the overworld aspect, but... Wait, what are... What happened? I don't think that's supposed to happen in a Zelda game, but okay. Now, what is that? Wait, you mean to tell me every time we encounter an enemy in the overworld, we go to a 2D perspective? And what is that? They completely replaced the life meter, the magic meter, and they have a leveling up system. This is not a Zelda game. Well, I'm too ashamed to say that it actually is, but it is. Sadly, or gladly I mean, we don't have this anymore. I mean, if Zelda was still like this, we'd have a turn-based battle system, but hey, at least you could still encounter fairies in the overworld. That's a good thing. Right? Alright, time to move on to the dungeon. Before I continue, I just want to show you the leveling up system. You have attack, magic, and life will go up. But because I only have 50 XP, I have to only choose life will go up. I don't know what will happen if I cancel, but I went with it. This cave is so dark. Luckily for us, there is no enemy. Ow. There is an enemy. You can barely see it. It's right there. Who came up with this? Are we gonna get a lantern later in the future? I'm not gonna stick around to find out. I'm not gonna stay with the Zelda game. This is actually noted to be one of the weirdest Zelda installments. And what are those things? Most of you will recognize this song as the temple theme from Smash Brothers, when this is the game where it originates from. At least this good game got something for us that it's very worth it. Besides Dark Link. Oh, is that a spoiler? Oh, sorry, I'm not gonna play the game. I just want to spoil it anyways. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning after spoilers right now, please. Thank you. Well, there's pretty much nothing else to say about the game. I mean, I kind of like it a little, but I don't like it as much as I like Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, or Twilight Princess. Well, I guess I'll just show you the game over screen, and we'll call it a day. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.
You